Hello and welcome back to From the Depths. This episode is going to be a little bit different from normal. I'm going to try and cover something that I haven't actually seen on YouTube yet, but somebody's probably already done it, but I'm going to do it anyway. I've been messing about with modules and turrets, and I think I went a little bit overboard. Yeah, just a bit, just a little bit. But most of these work. It all started with this one. This one was a module I was actually creating for the fortress to actually pick up resources and that lot, well, process fuel and deliver it to the main fortress. Now, as you can see, it's docked here at that side, and if we go round the back underneath, you can see these lead blocks underneath. This actually brings down the center of mass just a little bit to actually make sure this stays flush with the fortress. As you can see, the docking clamp always holds the modules and always holds crafts directly at the center of mass. Now, after creating this module, I kind of wondered whether I could do it with turrets and see how they would actually work and see whether they could work, because it could end up with some interesting designs. So let's have a look at those right now. Okay, here's the first one that I created. As you can see, there's lots of recoil suppressors up there. There's a very good reason for that. An unbelievably good reason. The reason is because when I was testing this one doesn't work all that well. I'll show you very quickly now what actually happens. Let's spawn in a pigeon? No, I'll spawn in a rat. Okay, let's spawn that in. And let's have a look. So this will aim at the craft and start firing. Now, as you can see, slowly but surely, it is tipping backwards. Now, this is because, if I select it here and press P, the center of mass is down here. Now, I found that if you want a turret to work on a docking clamp, you need to make sure that the center of mass is directly on the firing pin itself. That way, the recoil blasts straight back through it. Here's the first the first turret that I actually made that actually tested that theory. So if we take a look at this, as you can see, it's hovering above the actual fortress, and the center of mass, if we go over here, is directly on the firing pin. So let's actually press P, get off this for a moment, and set the AI on. No, that's turning that one off first, of course. Turn that one on. There we go. And let's spawn in. Now, there's going to be a bit of a difficulty because they're going to be spawned in over that direction. So that turret's going to get in the way. But that doesn't matter. This is just to test and show you the recoil and show that it doesn't actually flip backwards. So let's see it firing. There we go. Fires extremely slowly, but as you can see, it is not recoiling backwards. This is because the docking clamps have an extremely strong X and Y translation strength. So they can actually hold on to the craft so it doesn't move upwards, down, left or right. But it will rotate and spin very, very easily. The strength is very, very weak. Let me show you what I mean very quickly. This one here, the center of mass is one block behind the firing pin. One block. Just one block. Now this will actually show you what a difference, one block difference, can actually make in comparison to the one which is on the center of mass. Now let's very quickly turn the AI on, and it should start spinning round when it fires. There we go. And okay, it wasn't meant to do that. Okay, let's spawn in another one very, very quickly. There we go. Okay, and there we go. You see that? It starts to spin round. As I was mentioning before, that is because the rotation strength, the way the docking clamp actually holds it, it does not hold it very, very strongly on the rotation. So let's actually show you some improvements that I made after this. Okay, here's a larger version. As you can see, it has a spin block directly in the center. I tried to create another version over here. This is sort of my phalanx, but I'll get to that in a moment. As you can see, this one has the same sort of design. It's a bit bigger, actually quite a lot bigger. It has electric engines in there that power the shields, because if this gets hit, those spin blocks do get taken out quite quickly and quite easily. But let's try... Okay, yeah, too fast, slow down, stop shooting. Can you, please? Okay, yeah, this is using belt loaders to actually fire much more quickly. Let's put a pigeon, that way it won't be able to shoot it down as fast as the other one. But yes, this one actually has all the ammo and everything in those two side parts, and the turret is held in the center with a spin block, and the center of mass of both of them, both the actual craft itself and the turret, are in the center, just above the spin block and right on the firing pin. And that center of mass being there actually helps stop the spin, especially with the turret like this that fires a lot of rounds and has no recoil suppression whatsoever. Let's move on to the next one, which is very similar to that one, which is the phalanx version. I know it doesn't look like the phalanx because it doesn't have the radar drone thingy on the top, but it was as close as I could get at this point in time to actually get the center of mass directly in the center, because my design skills are not perfect when I'm trying to do testing and stuff like that. I just build them to try and get them to work as a proof of concept. So let's load in the pigeon, and you can see this actually works relatively well. Again, this one's using belt loaders. It has a little bit of metal on the back. This is actually using a lot of light alloy to actually hold the ammo in the actual center of this. That's mainly just to keep the center of mass down, because the bottom of it actually holds all of the ammo and all of the customized ammo pieces. And this is going to hit... Ooh, jeez. Okay, that was quite close. Let's see what happens with this with missiles. Okay, here we are. Next one. I say okay quite a lot at the start of these rounds, don't I? But yes, this, as you can see, is a missile launcher on a turret, which is on a docked spin block. Now with missiles do not have any recoil whatsoever involved with them. So you can build all sorts of random designs that you actually want to build with this. So which would... Okay, that's gone into space. Which should actually be... You could actually get some really decent and cool designs with that. So, because you don't have to worry about placing the center of mass directly behind the firing pin. So yes, you can get some really good spin block missiles going on your crafts. Let's actually move on to something a little bit bigger and a little bit different. Okay, here we are. We're going to do the cram cannon. Now this one works a little bit different. It doesn't have the docked spin block under here like all the other ones. This one works with a docking clamp at the back, and if I go in here, select it on build, press P, you can actually see that the spin block is inside the turret itself. So down here we have the spin block surrounded by the light blocks around there, and it has a shaft that goes directly through the center holding the ammo and an electric engine for the shields up there. Now this allows you to actually put something at the back instead of underneath, and also allows you to do some like spinning designs with the actual docking clamp at the back. So you can actually do some really interesting designs, and I'll show you some of those later that you can actually do with this. Okay, here we go. I'm going to show you how to build the actual docking clamp system down here. All you got to do is set up a spawn. Well, you don't even need that spawn thing there. All you've got to do really is load in the actual craft with the spin block and with the docking station on it, and load in the craft. So down here we have the weapons controller and the AI. Above that we have the turret, and on that we have the docking clamp. Now to get the docking clamp on here, you need the 2 metal or 2 wooden pieces so they can fit on there. And then we have a missile controller. Now this spins the block and turns it into a weapon, turns the turret actually into a weapon, and will target and aim towards the enemy in front of it. allowing you to put a craft on top of it at any distance you like, and it will spin round and target the enemy. Next one is a lovely little raft. Yep, a large turret on a wooden raft. Now, you'd think this would sink, wouldn't you? Because that thing probably weighs half a ton. But looking underneath, you'll find out that there isn't actually anything under there. It is literally just a flat slab of wood, yet this isn't sinking at all. Let's load in a simple drone to check the recoil effect of this. Now, as you'll see very quickly, there is no recoil. No recoil whatsoever. So this creates some huge advantages for these types of designs, because you don't have to worry about recoil on your turret at all. It doesn't make your craft flip over. You have no problems. If I go in here, you can actually see that the recoil of this is over 400,000. This should be causing this raft to sort of fly into space by now, but it doesn't. The next test was the spin and rotation test. So turn on the AI and you'll aim at the drone up there. Now, as it flies over, I'm going to very quickly select this and fill in the top. There we go. It continues to spin. It does not collide. A turret, something that's docked to a docking station, does not collide with the craft it's docked to. It'll only collide with the docking station itself. So you can put all sorts of defense, and you can hide a turret on top of a huge defended block. Now, here's the sort of design you can make using spin blocks. As long as the spin blocks are behind and the turret is actually inside the gun itself, you can create all sorts of designs with angled turrets. The only problem with this is that there is quite a large drawback from doing this. I'll show you very quickly. The turrets and docking stations do not like water at all. They really hate water so much. It's ridiculous. But yes, you can create all sorts of designs as long as they don't actually hit the water. Now I'm going to do a quick montage taking a chapter out of Iron Lands from the Depths videos. Let's see how this turns out. If you thought this From the Depths episode was interesting, please leave a like and consider subscribing. If you think you can create something with these, I'd love to see your designs. Leave a link in the comments below and I will take a look. I hope to see you again. Bye bye.